Welcome to the Embedding Secondary Sources mini lesson. Before we talk about why we need to embed sources, I wanted to review what a secondary source is. A secondary source is information that was created and written after an event, like a newspaper article or a database source. All of the sources that you found for this project have been secondary sources. And you are going to embed and hyperlink 2 articles from your research into your editorial. Why are we hyperlinking other sources? So first, let me ask you a question. When you're reading an article, are you actually going to copy and paste this link right here to go and find it? Probably not. I know that I myself, as a professional adult, am not going to do that. I'm just going to read the article that's there. But if I click on and look at an actual article and I see extra information, I might click on it to learn more about that person. So that's why we want to hyperlink articles, because it's a more authentic reading experience. That's what readers want. They want to be able to click on something that takes them to the information, not have to go through a lot of hoops to actually get that source. So we are going to mimic that authentic experience just like actual news articles do. So let's take a look again at the New York Times article about Coco. So this article is called "Coco Was the Story of My Life. Readers Share Reactions to Pixar's Film." So as you scroll through, you'll notice that there are many words and phrases that are hyperlinked. Let's take a look at the second paragraph. Nods to Mexican life and culture in Pixar's Coco did not go unnoticed by many audiences, which made the film the top draw at the box office on Thanksgiving weekend. The makers of the film, which centers on a boy named Miguel who tries to reconnect with his family's musical roots on Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead, went to great lengths to avoid cliches and stereotypes. So even in this paragraph alone, we have 3 hyperlinked words and phrases. And so if we click on "went to great lengths," it will take us to another article about how Pixar made sure Coco was culturally conscious. And if we were interested in that, we could learn more about it. The reason why authors make it actual words and phrases in the article is because they don't want it to be disruptive to the reading experience, because you might already know a lot about Coco and you might not want to have background information on the movie, so you could just keep reading and not click on those. But if you did want more information, you certainly could get it by clicking on those links. So that's why you're not going to say, if you want to learn more about it, click here, because that's very disruptive to the reading experience. You are going to find words and phrases that have to do with the secondary article that you're going to embed. So for example, if we go back up to the top and click on top draw at the box office, it takes us directly to an article that talks about the first weekend and opening weekend at the box office. So you do want to make sure that the word or phrase that you're embedding or that you're hyperlinking actually has to do with the article that you're talking about. So let's transition to talk about this article that we've used earlier in the year called "What is Language?" And it has been adapted for Newsela. And on Newsela, there are no hyperlinked articles. So we are going to embed a link into this article. So if we go down to the second paragraph, the first sentence says, "Humans are born with the ability to understand language." Now, if I'm a reader, I might want to learn more about the science behind it. This article doesn't go into too much depth about the science, but that might be something that a reader would want to know more about. But this reader or this article author doesn't have a lot of time to actually go into those details. So here's what we're going to do. We have our source here that we used for research. We're going to copy this link. We are going to highlight the sentence that we want to hyperlink. And then we're going to go to Insert and click Link. And now we're going to paste that link in there. And now, when we click on that link, it will take us to the science article. And you are going to do that 2 times throughout your editorial. All right, I hope you've found this embedding secondary sources mini lesson helpful. So now you can go ahead and move on to embedding those sources into your facts section.